Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. This video, we're going to talk about the key to a good long game. And that key is patience. I would say patience not only on your part, but also on your team's part, as their tactics might not mesh so well with the longer, slower-paced gameplay required for a good long game. So, starting this one off, we are in a skirmish match on Grimplexus. We have called out the Vapor Eagle, and I purposely did not immediately shoot him. I was waiting for support fire from my teammates. That allows two things to happen. Number one, the extra damage masks my damage and helps mask my presence. And then secondly, when I did shoot him, I was focusing on legs. His right leg is now open, and I specifically focused the leg because shooting people in the legs usually does not elicit an immediate response as opposed to, say, shooting them directly in the back. Now, moving around on the map, we found a Madcap Mark II. I kind of saw him on the mini-map because there is a friendly wolfhound operating in my area as well. And now I switch into another mode. I am the bait. So I'm going to do damage where and as I can, but my primary purpose here now is to get the Mad Cat's attention and create a window of opportunity for the Wolfhound to rake his back, which is exactly what he is doing. Now I continue trying to bait him as much as possible. I want him focused on me and not my teammate. The Mad Cat is half down, and that rear CT looks like it's probably one touch, and our Wolfhound should be able to bring this one home, and he does, chalking himself up a nice little kill, probably a KMDD with that one as well. For those of you playing the home game on this one, I am piloting the Arctic Cheetah E, and that is outfitted with jump jets, ECM, 2 heavy large lasers, and a top speed of 129.6 kph. And now a couple of very important things are about to happen. We have relocated the enemy formation. They are Gulf 7, Gulf 8 heavy, and I have slowed things down and I'm taking a much slower approach to this. I get out an airstrike, which is beautifully placed, and that should go across the backs of at least 2 of the enemy mechs. I'm going to do some damage to them at range, and while I am taking this slower approach, you can see my friendly Wolfhound has charged into the fray and is focused and taken out by the enemy team. And this is where I say a slower, more cautious approach probably would have yielded him better results. Now, my second airstrike is a little off the mark, and the enemy units have moved forward beyond its reach, which is unfortunate. And my next target of opportunity is going to be the King Crab. Now, I'm going after the King Crab, and I'm about to violate everything that I've told you guys for 3 important reasons. Number one is, look at the score. We have definitely, we're definitely on our back feet here. We have lost the power curve, and this is quickly turning into a rout, so I don't have much to lose on this. But by challenging the King Crab, I'm going to tie up 100 tons versus my little light, number one. Number two is, if you look at the battle map, he is very isolated. When I chose to move in, most of his friendly support units had moved on towards the Fox line, and so I took that as my opening to move in. Now, unfortunately, we have an overheat because all of that jumping around on top of our weapons fire is not healthy for our heat scale. And to make matters worse, his teammates have turned around and are now coming back across the top to offer him aid. I'm hoping I can get to him. He's open front CT, rear CT. I'm hoping I can get the kill shot, but I don't think that's the way this is going to play out. I'm going to get focused down and taken out. So I would say not the best match ever, but we learned some important principles, and we still managed to finish this one off with 571 damage done. Moving on to our next drop. This one has us back on Grimplexus. This time we're playing Assault mode, and I'm slowing things down, playing that patient long game, but I'm doing what every light mech should be doing in the opening rounds of any match, and that is acting as a scout, a spotter, holding locks where possible, relaying as much information to my teammates as possible as to what specific mechs I see, where they're forming up, what directions they're moving, giving them as much information on the battlefield as possible. I'm not just blindly charging into the rear of the enemy formation. Now, I'm not saying that you won't do any harassment damage. I'm saying slow it down, make it at a place and time of your choosing. Like choosing the Annihilator. We put an airstrike out. I'm waiting for that to come down. It's about 7 seconds, and then I'm going to use it to mask my fire. And look at that. He is now open CT with rear damage as well. Now, without masking my fire, look at what he does. He immediately turns around, looks in my position, and starts shooting. So that is the importance that we talked about in the first one about masking your shots, also picking the time and place of your engagement. Now, there's a direwolf ultraviolet down there not paying attention. We're going to open up his rear CT as well, and now I want to reposition just slightly to see what they are doing. The Annihilator is still down there, and he is still coming our way, which is not good for us. The bigger question is, what has he told his teammates? My second airstrike is FUBAR, so we won't count that. I was hoping to get it out a little further out towards the storage tanks, but that's not in the cards. We're going to readjust again because the Annihilator is moving somewhere off to our right in the low ground. We'll get a couple more parting shots, and now my spidey sense is tingling, telling me I don't want to stay too long at the party, so I go vertical and reposition before the enemy can get a fixed focus on me, or the Annihilator swings the corner and comes into my right side. Now, some will say this maneuver was a bit extreme and I didn't have to go to this length to get away and reposition, and I would counter with that and saying, you're not paranoid if they really are out to get you. And what I don't know is where that Annihilator went and who he told about my presence. So finding an extreme location to re-engage from, in my book, is pretty sound advice. And there we have a target of opportunity up on the hill, giving us his back. The other thing that we've been able to do by taking a slower approach to this game is allowing the enemy team to be drawn out. Yes, we have, I don't know, 3 or 4 enemy units in our general vicinity, but the rest of them have pushed forward towards our base, which is making this even better for me. I'm not going to worry about facing down the whole team, only a heavy lance, and I'm able to pick them apart at range from undisclosed locations. And there's our Annihilator friend to the left, and before I can deal with him further, an enemy shot punches through his center torso, ending his game and better protecting and masking my presence as well. Now that Madcap Mark II has to know I'm back here somewhere. You can't take that much damage to your rear CT that far off the front line and not say to yourself, gee, there's some kind of a light mech operating in our backfield. So I'm going to come at him from a different angle, and he's coming at me from a different angle. He must have been on the search, and we're able to punch through his center torso. He must have had some front CT damage that I was unaware of, in addition to the back damage. And there's another target of opportunity. Looks like an Atlas trying to push forward with the rest of his teammates, and we're going to push up over the hill and engage him. Now he's in the buildings there somewhere, and I'm about to do something that's going to have you guys screaming in agony, and that is I'm going to shoot this Atlas right in the front CT. And now I am not going to go evasive. I want him looking at me so I can get the next shot out on that CT, which was one touch, and that works like a charm. Down goes the Atlas. Now the rest of the enemy team has pushed forward towards our base. The score is 10-8, so we are somewhat ahead. And there's our friend, the Direwolf. I need to rush forward and engage him while he's in the open high ground. He should be right up over the top of the hill, and there he is, giving us a nice back shot. My aim is a little bit off. I don't get full damage on the rear CT, which probably would have taken him out. And I also now have to wait for the recycle time on those heavy large lasers, and I'm also going to deal with some heat issues, even stagger firing my shots. But the shutdown gives us front row seats to the duel of the century, the LBs versus the Racks, and the LBs win. So we're up and running again. We're going to focus that rear CT. The ultraviolet doesn't know we're up here. So we've got him spinning in circles. We're going to readjust a little bit and go for that juicy rear CT, taking him out of the game, and that is our third kill of the match. While that was going on, we have some additional changes on the battlefield. It's now 11-2. There is the final enemy unit, and he manages to take out my teammate with all of those streaks, which is not good. However, his mech is half down, and we have the advantage, the element of surprise, because he doesn't know where I'm at or what he's looking for. So now it is shoot and reposition, shoot and reposition. Taking our time and executing patience is going to win us this game. He clearly doesn't know where I'm at. I think he thinks I'm playing Ring Around the Rosie with that rock outcrop in front of him, and that allows me to get more damage on his mech. And now he's about one touch front CT, one touch rear CT. So again, I just have to be patient and choose my avenues of approach carefully. I don't think he could take me out with an alpha, but I don't want to risk finding that out when all I have to do is wait and bide my time for the kill shot. And that will bring this match to an end. Checking the end screen on this one, we wind up with 4 kills, 10 components destroyed, 551 damage done in the long game.